Uh, Insights into article submission will be presented by Dr. Abhay Lingay. Dr. Abhay Lingay currently serving as an assistant professor and MTech coordinator in the Department of Mechanical Engineering at Pimpri Chinchwad College of Engineering, Pune, brings a wealth academic expertise to our session. Dr. Lingayat obtained his PhD from NIT Warangal and pursued a postdoctoral fellowship at IIT Bombay with over 7 years of dedicated research experience. He has authored 20 general papers spanning an impressive 1,149 citations and achieving an H index of 13. Its contribution extended beyond publications as Dr. Lingayat is a distinguished reviewer for estimated journals such as Solar Energy and Journal of Cleaner Production. Furthermore, his exceptional work has been recognized with research funding exceeding 5 lakhs from various funding agencies, highlighting its significant impact on the academic community. Join us as Dr. Lingad share invaluable insights and best practices for navigating the article submission process, drawing from his rich academic and research background. Thank you.
Uh, Thank you, Mayur. Once again, welcome you all and good morning to all of you. Today, again, we are starting with the new topic that is article submission key insight. What
Good
exactly
morning,
we
sir.
required? What are the documents we are expecting for submission in the journal paper or conference paper that we are trying to explore today? Now, in the till date, what explore, explore about scope, what exactly the Scopus Index, Web of Science, outline of the thesis and research paper, literature review, referencing, and just now we heard about how to write the abstract and introduction. Now, after covering all the topics, you will be ready with some papers, structure of the paper. But only the structure of the paper is not required. What again we require inside? What are the content they are expecting? What are the files? What are the word files they are expecting from us? That we are covering today. So our topic will start with exactly the content to be covered while submitting the paper. What to select the journal, how to select the journal, submission and communication, how we can go for that. You have the content, you have the paper, but what whether you are following the guidelines given by the journal, what are the content they're expecting from you, whether you have put in your paper or not, that should be clear from your side, right? So if we follow the structure, generalized structure for any journal submission, this is what exactly it is. So you should have the main title of the manuscript, which will be of 5 to 15 words of length, right? And there should be the abbreviation, title, author name, everything should be clear. If I want to show example to you, can you see? This is the title I'm having, which is of between 15 words, and I'm mentioning the authors. With the mentioning the authors, I mention A, which is showing the affiliation for that particular author, and accordingly I have created. And at the end of this particular thing, I need to provide my corresponding author details, right? So this way we have to present while giving the first title and affiliation. Then we will come to the abstract part. In the abstract part, there should be some requirement that it should not be too much lengthy. What is the requirement? You can write the abstract in 150 words also. But generally, if your paper is having good quality and having huge content, then you can go for 250 to 300 words. What exactly the abstract is expecting? So introduction about the topic with the single one or two lines. What parameter you are estimating? What is the methodology you are proposing? What are the methodology you are using? Giving the information, procedure, okay, and give 2 3 lines about the importance conclusion with the experimental or numerical data. So this is the quality way you can present your abstract. It will be short and it will give the output. Then after that, we should add some keywords. Keyword means which are related with your research article. There should not be generalized one. It should be created with your word, because if researcher want to find out some topic, like solar trial is the topic they want to search, so they will write the search in the keywords solar trial. So in that way we have to mention. So 4 to 6 keywords we are expecting. Then nomenclature, it is the most important part, because whenever we are writing the research article, we will go for the equations. Then in this equation manner, so equation should be numbered properly. And in that equation also, we are talking about various parameters. We are not giving the details, but we are mentioning some symbols. So what exactly they are? What exactly the short form? All the details we should mention in the nomenclature, which should be in the alphabetical order, right? Then after completing this basic thing, we will go for the introduction. So introduction is all about what generalized idea about the research is. It is not about the exclusively for your research, but what is the generalized idea we are proposing for your research paper, that only reflecting in the introduction session. Okay. Then we'll go for the literature survey. In the literature survey, depend on the type of the paper, I'm saying again, depend on the type of the paper, depend on the quantum of work you are having, the number of paper will change. So as I understand, whatever the paper we are having as a research article, we can have minimum 25 papers. In that 25 papers also, we should explain thoroughly the 10 to 15 paper which are directly related with your research article, and remaining paper will be giving the generalized idea about your topic. Then we will, reference should be selected close to our work, mention the conclusion limitations of existing study, and because of that limitations only you are coming with some research article, right? We are coming with some objectives that should be mentioned. Then state specific objective. After defining the limitations from the existing literature, you should define your own objective, that we are in this paper, we are filling that objectives. We are trying to fill that gaps. And for filling that gaps, what are the activity you are following, that should be mentioned in the objectives. Don't use too old and obstacle references. Okay, if you are recent technologies and you are referring some basic fundamental things, you can add as an introduction section in the first paragraph, but don't consider it as a reference for your research writing. Okay. Then next part is methodology. Now methodology is depend on the whether it is experimental part, whether it is numerical part, or whether it is review article. So what exactly we are expecting from the experimental methodology part? So experimental components, accessories with a schematic diagram, selection of the material, design of experimental setup, accessories, the application part, experimentation, procedure, instrument used. You need to mention the accuracy, because whenever we are going for the experimentation, the accuracy of the instrument is very important thing. If your instrument is not accurate, then it will show the error at the end of the result. So even though you know the part of the instrument, but you should mention what is the accuracy of that instrument. Then experimentation procedure, instrument use, problem faced during the preliminary experiment, if any. If it is really required, then only you have to specify for problem faced during the preliminary experimentation. Then problem solved during the preliminary experimentations. Then theoretical analysis. These are the mathematical equations that we have to mention here. What exactly what is the parameter you are used? If parameters depend on another parameters, what is the exactly equation you are having, and what is the ultimate output equation? You have to mention all the equations in particular analytical part. Okay, theoretical analysis. Now, if we come to the numerical methodology, so start with the small introductory topic. What exactly the numerical methodology is? Define the solution domain on which you are doing the activity. Provide the geometrical operating parameters. Explain all numerical model format governing equations, boundary conditions which used for the numerical solutions. Then explain what the solution methodology is, how you are giving the inputs to execute the problem to solve the mathematical equations running behind the softwares. Then we'll go for the theoretical analysis, all mathematical equations. Again, whatever the equation we have considered in the experimental data, same data we can explain in the theoretical analysis. Then if it is of both experimental, so you have to summarize the experimental data, methodology and numerical methodology. Then after that, we have the result and discussion section, where most important thing, whenever we are going for the higher impact factor journal, they are looking for this part. So your result section should be 50 to 60% of your total paper. Means 50% only above that result and discussion section, including the introduction, methodology, and all. Right? So it will shows the quantum of work you are doing. Then we'll go for the results from the experimentation. If you are going for the numerical study, you should mention about the grid independency test or time independency test. Again, result from the numerical model, then comparison of the numerical and analytical experimental results, because validation is very important in the case of numerical experiment. Then try to relate any one of the estimated results with the other literatures. Even though we are referring some literature in the introduction section, but that was the base for selecting the gap. But whether our results is more efficient than existing one, that we have to mention in the discussion section. So try to relate any one of the estimated results with the literature results for validation or for claiming better results than the literature results. Plot the results with a clear-cut idea, explain very plot in brief manner, then explain the tables. Because we are adding the tables in the result form, so we can say we should explain all the details. We should explain each and every figure. It is not that if we are saying with the increase in the radiation, temperature will increase, the single statement will not work. You should explain the physics behind the change in the graph. What exactly the physics is happening in the while changing the graph with respect to the two parameters. That explanation you should give while giving the explanation about the tables or any graph. Then repeatability test, because if you are going for the experimentation, we should go for that repeatability test or uncertainty analysis. This is very important. They always ask for this type of thing if you are going for the experimentation, and they will ask for the validation if you go for the numerical analysis using CFD, MATLAB, Python, anything. So don't repeat the figures and table. There should not be repetition of the single paper, single explanation number of times. Then after this discussion, we will conclude the topic, and in the conclusion, there should be some journals are expecting single paragraph, some journals are expecting the bullet point, some journals are expecting 2 to 3 paragraphs also. There is no restriction. But if you are talking about the elsewhere, exclusively elsewhere, they are expecting the single paragraph or bullet points only. So in the conclusion also, you should explain 2 3 lines about the work, method, and techniques. It's your skill how to define all the complete paper in the 2 to 3 lines. Then state our important conclusions from the results discussion section, which have to be discussed in your conclusion part. Conclusion lines with the future scope recommendations can be added, which will help the researcher to work further on your topic. So nowadays, the trend is changing. Every journalist is asking about addition of the future scope and recommendations for the future work, right? So this is the complete scenario we need to present if you want to submit the paper in high impact factor journal. Then future scope, again I said same thing. Either you can mention in the conclusion section, or if it is a review paper, one complete section should be on future scope and recommendation, right? Then if you have some acknowledgement, you can add some references. Yesterday we have talked about the Mendeley software. So Mendeley software will help you to make easy for referencing and citations. Okay. Then if there is supporting document to claim your results, you can add in the appendices. Then note, very important thing, read the journal aim and scope. Sometimes what happening, we are writing the paper on one topic and submitting, the journal which don't have any relation with our topic. So we should avoid that part. So read the journal aim and scope, author's guideline before submission. Prepare the manuscript as per the journal format. Now, in this case, if we are talking about the elsewhere or Terrell and Francis, they are not bothering about the exact formatting, but formatting means what exactly they are expecting. They are talking about the title, subtitle, citation style, figure, table style, and referencing style. They are talking not talking about whether it is single column para, double column lines, double column layout, triple column layout. They are not bothering about that part. So they are only talking about the style, citation style, figure, table style, and reference style. Right. So use single column as I preferred always. Use single column, Times New Roman, 12 font, 1.5 spacing for the submission. After acceptance, they will take care about your single column, double column, whatever it is. They will take care. But we are not bothering before submission of the research article. We are not bothering about whether it is single column or double column. We will write our own paper in our own format, but the style should be given by the journal paper. Right? You can add subsection as per requirement, figures, all the paragraphs, charts, line diagram, table as per the journal format, author's bibliography. Some journals like Taylor and Francis are asking about the author's bibliography, and author's bibliography also they are asking what is the contribution of the individual author. They will ask. So you have to mention that part also. So this is all about the content which we are expecting while submitting the journal paper. Next, we will move to the slide. Then